Inside India's hospitals, doctors and nurses are at war. With new infections peaking at about 400,000 a day, health workers are burning out.
They don't even have a moment to rest, not even a single moment to rest.
How does this wave compare to the last one in India?
I mean, this is way worse.
Way worse.
Way worse. In the last wave, there was never a time that we could not provide an ICU or a ventilator to a sick patient. Patients have died in the emergency because there was no ICU bed, no ventilator, no physical space to put in a bed.
This is one of New Delhi's best hospitals, but they're still dealing with chronic shortages of oxygen, medicine and beds.
I've seen death almost every day of my life since I've been an intensivist. But these are deaths where you have done your best, you've tried your best, and that's what's bothering our young resident doctors and our nurses is they keep telling me, if we had the ventilator, we had the ICU beds, we could have saved so many more. That is what bothers you.
The ICU at Holy Family Hospital has added 40% more beds. It's still not enough.
We can't go beyond that. There's no physical space to go beyond that. We have put beds between beds, which is, as you can see, there's a distance.
It's incredibly crowded in here.
Exactly. This is not how the ICU looks usually.
More frustrating than these conditions is the fact that this crisis could have been prevented.
Lots of us warned the government that this is going to happen. Set up surge capacity, build surge capacity, go for the lockdown.
Did they do it?
It's too late.
With hospitals at breaking point, families are being forced to treat their loved ones at home. Just outside New Delhi, we come across a crowd of people waiting to buy or refill oxygen cylinders. Some people have been waiting here since 4 in the morning. They still haven't received any oxygen.
तो पुलिस यहाँ क्यों है? सिक्योरिटी
लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मैटर के लिए, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, वो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर। तो कई लोग पहले खो जाते हैं बहुत जल्दी, और फिर वो चाहते हैं कि उन्हें सबसे पहले मिले।
At the back of the line, we find Shubham Kaushik. His entire family is infected with COVID.
Because my mother, my father, both are on hospital.
At home or at hospital?
At home.
At home.
Right, because hospitals have denied to take admission. Imagine a scenario where your both your parents are on the oxygen cylinder and you yourself being a positive.
You're COVID positive.
Right, I'm COVID positive and standing here to just make up the cylinder. It's
Is
not
it
that
safe for you to be out here?
there's another one. Is there any option for me? Just tell me this. Is there any alternate that I can just sit at home and relax?
Almost 12 hours after people first started lining up, they're still waiting.
बच्ची के लिए अस्पताल से फोन आ रही है, एक तो दो इसमें जाके बच्ची को लगा दें।
Fatima's daughter is in a private hospital. They've told her she only has a few hours of oxygen left.
बार-बार फोन कर रहे हैं, आओ पैसे जमा करो। क्या करें, बिहार रुके या वहाँ जाए?
तो उन्होंने कहा कि आपको सिलेंडर अभी मिलेगा?
बता ही नहीं रहे, कोई नहीं बता रही है। का नाम आयशा है, बच्ची की सास थी।
उनके ब्याह से जल्दी
क्या उम्र है आपकी बेटी?
मेरी बेटी की 16वें साल में लगी हुई है।
Fatima decides to rush back to the hospital. But after she leaves, the oxygen suddenly arrives.
The supply truck has finally shown up and they've got all of 13 cylinders to give to all the people waiting out there.
Shubham manages to get one, but after waiting for hours, he can barely stand or even speak.
How are you feeling now? Are you feeling okay? You look pretty sick now.
I'm pretty much drenched because it's been hell there out. So it was a chaos, and I'm drenched now. Myself being slightly positive and being in that rush for so long still gives a big blow to your body.
With such limited supply of oxygen from the central government, scammers are filling the void.
Hello. हमने पुलिस को कंप्लेन किया है, हम आपको जरूर जेल में डालेंगे, आप देख लीजिए।
This is a call recorded by reporter Nidhi Suresh. It's with a man who promised to sell her oxygen. Instead, she says he scammed her out of $350.
My uncle himself is down with COVID and I just recovered a day before. And he called me and he said his friend is really critical and requires an oxygen cylinder immediately. So I passed the number on to my uncle and my uncle gave him a call and he said, I'll deliver it immediately, but you need to make an advance payment. I pleaded with him. I said, we've made a payment for about 25,400 rupees. I will give you 6,000 or even more if you want, but please deliver the cylinder to my uncle and then I'll make the payment right in front of you. But as soon as I said that, he said, I'm out of cylinders.
Suresh tried to gather more evidence and asked a friend to call him.
हमें कैसे पता कि आप फ्रॉड नहीं कर रहे हैं? क्या गारंटी है?
आपको फोन कर दीजिए, हम फ्रॉड करते हैं। बोल दिए ना, हम फ्रॉड करते हैं। धरिए फोन।
अच्छा, आप इतने कॉन्फिडेंस से कह रहे हैं, मतलब लोग मर रहे हैं बाहर और आप ऐसे कॉन्फिडेंस से हमें बोल रहे हैं कि आप फ्रॉड करते हैं?
इनको जरूरत रहेगा वो बिल्कुल मेरे पास से ले जाएंगे, ठीक है? आपको जरूरत नहीं है तभी ये सब बात को सवाल कर रहे हो, ठीक है?
आप अगर फ्रॉड कर रहे हैं ना,
परिवार मर जाएगा, तुम्हारा परिवार मर जाएगा।
अरे तुम्हारी धमकी से हमें कुछ नहीं होता है, ठीक है? अपनी धमकी अपने पास रखो।
After posting about her experience online, Suresh heard from others who said they'd been ripped off by the same man.
Honestly, for me, it was really overwhelming and heartbreaking because I just received so many messages in my inbox. And I think one particular message really affected me was of this one girl who said that she lost her granddad waiting for this person's cylinder. And we're just on our own trying to scramble and survive through this whole thing. Some of us are privileged, some of us are not. We don't have the support of our government right now.
India's government did not respond to our requests for an interview. Neither did the Delhi police. Suresh believes that her scammer is still out there, targeting families. This pandemic is bringing out the worst in people, but others are doing their best. Through the peak of COVID infections, Surjit Singh has been volunteering to care for patients at this Gurdwara or Sikh temple.
सीरियस कंडीशन में इसलिए आ रहे हैं मैम कि पहले तो वो हॉस्पिटल के चक्कर काटते हैं, जब उनको हॉस्पिटल में कहीं प्लेस नहीं मिलता, कहीं भी जगह नहीं मिलती, कहीं उनका एडमिशन नहीं होता, तो लास्ट मोमेंट पे वो हमारे पास आते हैं एंड टाइम पे कि चलो गुरुद्वारे से हमारे पास से उनको ऑक्सीजन मिल जाएगी।
He says he's come down with the virus twice already, but he keeps coming back.
ना हॉस्पिटल्स के अंदर ऑक्सीजन है, हॉस्पिटल्स वाले भी इवन सिलेंडर्स हमसे लेके जा रहे हैं।
हॉस्पिटल वाले आपके पास आते हैं?
हॉस्पिटल वाले हमारे से गैस लेके जा रहे हैं, बोरों पर के ले जा रहे हैं कि हमें 2 दिन के लिए 2 सिलेंडर दे दीजिए, 4 सिलेंडर दे दीजिए, हमारे पेशेंट मार रहे हैं, हमारे पास गैस नहीं है।
More than 280,000 people have died here, and that's just the official toll.
ये काम करना गवर्नमेंट को चाहिए था, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट अब नहीं कर पा रही है उसकी।
How long can you keep this going?
As long as this corona is going.
A day after we met Shubham in the oxygen line, we visit him at home.
It feels really weird having to put on a hazmat suit to go into Shubham's house, but the infection is so viral in India at the moment that we don't have a choice. We have to be fully protected.
It's Kaushik's mother who needs the oxygen. She's in the next room, still struggling to breathe.
That's my mother's room, that's respect to her now. And my father lives in another room and that's on the second floor. My brother takes up another room, I take up another room in order to maintain the social distancing.
What is your worst fear right now?
Worst fear as for now is to be in the lack of oxygen.
Lack of oxygen.
Right, because it's the need of the hour for now. But
So your life is just about oxygen cylinders now?
as of now, I'd say from past 5 days, it's been all oxygen.
Did you even learn how to use an oxygen tank before how this all started?
No, before this all, I never knew. We tried to even learn from YouTube.
How are you holding up, Shubham, in the midst of all this? How are you doing? You know, you have fought off COVID. You're still sick. You're taking care of your whole family.
We are, I mean, it's part of the deal. It's part of the game that's going on. And just we are just going with the flow, I'll say. I mean, I don't know how will things go, but things are going.